Prometheus relayed the event that had occurred prior. At the time, we thought this would be a chance to look for SAS essence. Although dangerous, once successful, we could carry out a more targeted response plan. To avoid fighting SA directly, I made an agreement with her. If it came down to life and death, she should immediately change form, temporarily becoming pure energy to conserve her strength. You told her not to fight. You might as well ask a dolphin to ride a unicycle. You mean the Herrscher of Sentience left her weapon here because she was made to? Don't tell me her Herrscher power was confiscated. No, otherwise it'd be even less likely that the Herrscher of Sentience weapon would just be lying here. How Sela just described Herrscher of Sentience, a being that is hard to distinguish between a substance and an energy. Her Herrscher authority is everything. Her everything is her Herrscher authority, including weaponry. You mean if she had disappeared, her weapon would be gone too? That makes the strangest aspect of this whole thing that her weapon is right here in its physical form, but she is nowhere to be found. What if this isn't a recovery but a subjugation? Remember what we concluded? Sa seemed to be similar to the cocoon of finality. Prometheus' code to counter the cocoon of finality could be effective against Sa. I'd ventured a guess that, perhaps, via Sa's system, a Herrscher could be born. Are you serious? We can't rule out that possibility. So the subjugation you mentioned is a theory due to Sa's involvement, which would transform the Herrscher of Sentience from the cocoon of finality into Sa's Herrscher. So when the Herrscher of Sentience is trapped by Sa, she's unable to freely switch between two states like before. Indeed, if this hypothesis is valid, it would explain everything. But this would also mean... Yes, the Herrscher of Sentience perhaps didn't disappear by choice, but was subjugated by Sa and killed. And considering that Sa hasn't used this authority to attack us, we have to admit that the most likely conclusion is the Herrscher of Sentience is dead. Since Sa isn't an ex-World Serpent officer, it doesn't need to show mercy by merely capturing the Herrscher. Everyone was silent for a moment. Coming to terms with the possibility of her death, they were filled with a feeling of absurdity beyond grief. But what they all found hard to believe was that the word death could be ever associated with such an unruly, untouchable Herrscher. A while had passed. Then the mechanical girl was the first to speak. Well, most likely still doesn't mean the same as definitely. And before the Herrscher of Sentience disappeared, she left a critical clue for us. Didn't Dr. Schrödinger just posit that Herschers could be created via Sa's system? If so, we could think about this another way. Correct, Doctor. The key to breaking the deadlock lies, perhaps, in this world. Starting from the very beginner, we create a Herrscher. Then, once again, the Herrscher can overcome finality. Starting from the very beginning, we create a new Herrscher. If anyone heard the sentence just a year ago, such a crude and irrational solution would have never been taken seriously. Nevertheless, confronted with the present state of affairs, these words were incredibly persuasive. After all, in desperate circumstances, even the most illusory hope could seem unbelievably real. If only someone could posit such hope, it would be even more realistic. This line of thinking is worth pursuing. Are you serious, Prof. Prometheus might have short-circuited, but you're not talking nonsense, are you? Of course not. With enough Honkai energy, it might be possible to create a Herrscher out of thin air. I've seen a Herrscher born that way, although his appearance wasn't man-made. And Kiana's own experience, which you are all more familiar with, is a proof as well. A Herrscher that was born that way, do you mean? The Herrscher of Reason, Wild Joyce, the sole survivor of the first Honkai. Of course, this is just a theoretical possibility. As the name the first Honkai suggests, creating an artificial Herrscher was an experiment that no one could afford to undertake, except for the former Shixao overseer. But knowing this, you're still willing to bet on some slim odds. I can provide support to significantly increase these odds. After all, there is no one in this world as close to the well of Honkai as me. You're all out of your mind. But seeing that we have no other option, this will have to do. Sila Yu, if we can create a Herrscher, we can follow the original plan to directly connect with the outside world with her imaginary singularity. This approach would break the soulmate by either returning to the proper world or directly locating Sa. The power of the newborn Herrscher would serve as a formidable weapon. Have you considered potential failure or Herrscher losing control? I told you, no one in this world is closer to the world of Honkai than I am. As long as Sa's size remains 1/10 of that of Cocoon of Finality, there's no need to concern about Herrscher going wrong. What if 1/10 is exceeded? In a world governed by the Master of Fate, every aspect is controlled by the thread of destiny. In such a scenario, everything within the bubble universe becomes a mere copy of Sa, including us. Whatever. But who's gonna want to be the new Herrscher? It can't be Sila, so does that mean it's up to me? No, you've already bore the responsibilities of the Tower Sage, taking on additional authority to pose a risk. We may still require the power of a sage, and it will buy us more time for both ourselves and this world. On the other hand, my body and Dr. Schrodinger's obviously cannot bear the imaginary singularity. So the most appropriate choice would be... You mean me? Certainly, you have the inherent ability to wield stigmata, which grant you unrivaled resistance against Honkai energy, and you even possess the power of the Key of the Beyond and Sugars. I agree, you're the most suitable candidate, Kira. You're making me feel a little bit embarrassed. Well, I am Sila and the other senpai. It wouldn't be right to hide behind everyone. Whether it's becoming a Valkyrie or how things are now, it appears that things always start off on the wrong foot. Responding to everyone's expectation is also part of being an idol. It's great you're willing to take on this responsibility so quickly. So let me outline the plan. Dr. Schrodinger and I will utilize various methods to guide and gather the overflowing Honkai energy resulting from merging of the world. We will concentrate it to a level beyond theoretical limits, creating an imaginary singularity in its process. This would be challenging, but with Sila's support, we can accomplish things in this world that would typically demand significant time and effort. We also plan to ride on the disturbance to the world caused by Sa. So, Kira, I advise against holding back at all. I think you know what I mean. Right, I'll fully unleash my Sugar's power and give it my all. And to the two Silas, I expect you to amp the authority of the Tower Sage to the max level to stabilize the plan. I will provide you with specific instructions later. At this time, you can try revisiting the country of Iron Sand to harness the energy from the location as well, accelerating the process of generating imaginary singularity. Return to Iron Sand. What about the Black Mists? Sa has complete control over that bubble universe, and because it's frugal, it's unlikely that you'll see any black mist. Maybe we might as well try. If we can get back easily, it is really frugal. So everyone knows what they're doing then. Let's get a move on. Wait, not so fast. I have an important hypothesis I have to share. In fact, I sensed something was off from the moment of Miss Tao's disappearance. All of a sudden, Prometheus' voice took on a delicate tone. When she left, it sounded like she had something important to tell me, but she held back. Sa, right? It's not just Sa's ability to hinder her that is frightening, but also the uncanny precision with which Sa chose that exact moment, preventing her from uttering her final words. Moreover, during the attack on Lita, when Scylla crossed the bridge, and when the Herrscher of Sentience vanished, for some reason, despite Sa's apparent stinginess, it was able to precisely strike at our vulnerabilities at each moment. You mean Sa's authority is perhaps omniscience? Omniscience. Perhaps it is aware of every action we take, every word we utter. If this is true, the more we try to directly hit it, the riskier things get. That's... The three of them couldn't help but gasp upon hearing Prometheus' words. Then there was a dead silence. It would be best to stop putting our plans into words from now on. The previous conversation was necessary, but from now on, I suggest we only engage in necessary and brief communication to prevent the enemy from obtaining any more information. Unless we can prove Sa isn't omniscient. As if being placed under some kind of spell, everyone present fell into a bizarre state. Nodding, shrugging, making eye contact, the most primitive forms of communication dating from the invention of language. An omniscient enemy is shocking to think, but justified. True or not, everyone began to feel hesitant. And the smarter among them realized a more curious problem. Why did Prometheus reveal the entire plan just now? Was it really necessary? The performers were in position. The curtains to a never-before-seen pantomime were about to rise. Although they no longer verbalized their thoughts, it was clear that everyone had been tacitly assigned their scripts. In the face of practically invincible enemy, they undoubtedly displayed all the virtues they possessed: trust, courage, and wisdom. People always want to believe that possessing such virtues would give them the strength to change the world. But would their wishes become reality? Would their secret plan really be a secret? Alright, let's split up now that we know what we're doing.
既然分配完了任务，接下来我们就各自行动了。
Seeing that shouldn't be a problem, right? It's fine. Although we don't know if we have truly understood Prometheus' intentions, it's alright. This is fine. Besides, it doesn't matter if your conjecture is right or wrong. The plan will proceed smoothly as long as we take action. I knew it. Got it. We'll give it our all. On the other hand, Dr. Schrodinger's assistance is required. Forgive me, I'm limited to using my brain in situations like this. No, your mind is the greatest weapon we have in this situation. Thank you. I haven't put my mind to work under pressure like this in a long time. It really takes me back. Isn't that great? Everyone fell silent again. Prometheus slowly and solemnly glanced at everyone's faces. It was as if she was telling them all that she was counting on them. As for me, I also need to do something that only I can do. This is... Wait, Sela, don't. Her warning was too late. As if a cabin was carved out of a vacuum, a tremendous pool suddenly appeared. Compared to the boundless sea of quanta, the bubble universe that contained them was but a tiny ship in the universe. But afterwards, the space they were thrown into was not the inky night sky. It even felt somewhat familiar. Strange, this place seems to be where hair... This explains. Looks like the bridge building of that woman has some side effect on this world. It didn't take us back to the proper world, but instead gave the Sun Servants an opportunity to come to the Holy City. To think this would happen, but even then we wouldn't be attacked by them. Who knows, but since this world is under Sa's influence, anything could happen. We should deal with the problem at hand first. Do we need to split up? Good point. We did confirm the order, but we can't ensure that more oracles won't go crazy in the Holy City. Then we'll stay here and fend off those Sun Servants. Okay, leave the Holy City to me. And somehow I feel the oracles are attacking us for a particularly important reason. Reason? Such as? The girl pondered for a moment, but couldn't find the right expression. Could it be something really important has already begun without us knowing? Despite their keen intuition, they weren't record crafters. In any case, the needle hadn't dropped yet. But the remark that something has begun was perhaps true. Have you ever felt the grooves on a record? The moment they were cut into it, the music it would play became a certainty.
爱的玩具吗？好，好好取悦我吧。让你要当希儿的玩具吗？捉迷藏开始，小气一会儿吧。藏好了吗？被捉到的话，轻而易举，让好好取悦我吧。让你要当希儿的玩具吗？别怕，警长，我在呢。藏好了吗？被捉到的话，那你要当希儿的玩具吗？让好好取悦我吧。拜托了，另一个我，真拿你没办法。安息吧，拥抱你的力量吧，希儿。靠近我！接着要到希儿去哪儿？这姐姐受到任何伤害，队长要带他和我一起战斗吧。是是是。希儿知道了。安息吧，拥抱你的力量吧，希儿。